for us coming off back-to-back losses. And then we all understand the importance of when there's conference challenges and what this weekend can potentially mean for the entire league. Once Selection Sunday comes, so big weekend not only for Arkansas but obviously in the entire league.
Our first question is from Bob Holt of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Eric, I think you won about 80% of your games as a college coach. You haven't had a lot of experience dealing with losses, particularly back-to-back, and I don't think you've ever lost 3 in a row. How do you process that kind of with yourself, your coaching staff, and the players in terms of dealing with that loss and then getting ready for another tough game on a pretty quick turnaround?
Yeah, I think that I think the staff and the players. Even last night in the locker room, I think that it's easier for them to turn the page. It's much harder for a head coach, whether it's a head coach of a college team, an NBA team, a college baseball team, college football. It's hard. Certainly after a loss, you want your team to understand the significance of a game after a loss. I thought we played hard at Mississippi State. But I also thought they played hard. And our backs are against the wall, so to speak, having lost 2 in a row. It's something that is foreign the last few years to have to deal with. But I do think our players have dealt with it in the past, the guys that are here. And so I think they'll be fine mentally. But you do, when you lose 2 in a row, if it doesn't hurt and you don't agonize over it, then a third one becomes a possibility. If you hate to lose and you're a great competitor, then you'll do every defensive assignment that's necessary to win the next game.
And the fact you've had so few back-to-back losses and you've never lost 3 in a row, as a college head coach, what do you think's been the key to that? And do you feel like this team has the same things your Nevada teams had that didn't do that?
Yeah, I mean, I know that after a loss in the past, the locker room was not going to accept another loss, and you've got to play above and beyond. Maybe what you normally do. You got to get more extra loose balls. You got to defend without fouling. You have to, But the bottom line is, right now, Bob, is we have to figure out a way to make some shots. We're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league. We're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the country, and we're one of the worst rebounding teams in the country. So we've got to figure out some way how to shoot the ball better. It's up to our staff to continue to tinker and try to get guys more wide-open looks, and then it's our players, have got to shoot the ball with confidence as well.
Okay, next up is Scotty Bordelon of HawgBeat.com.
Hey, Coach, Reggie has given you pretty efficient minutes in 3 straight games. What have you liked about his play, I guess, going back to the Vanderbilt game?
Yeah, I think, Scotty, the big thing with Redden right now is he's finishing around the rim. We obviously need way more defensive rebounding out of both Reggie and Adrio. We've got to rebound collectively better, 1 through 5, but certainly at our 5 spot, we've got to get more defensive rebounds. We're not asking for more offensive rebounds, but defensively rebounding at that 5 spot, we've got to get more productivity. But Reggie's done a great job of finishing around the rim. Obviously, when you get into SEC play as opposed to non-conference play, you face longer, better rim protection. It has not affected Reggie at all. He's actually, increased his productivity around the rim from non-conference. And something that we certainly want to try to utilize going forward.
And also, the last 2 games, Isaiah's had long scoreless stretches. Is there anything you can put your finger on there, or something opposing defenses are doing to kind of limit him?
Yeah, for sure. Opposing defenses last night, Mississippi State put Perry, who's a 4 or 5 man, on our off guard, and then they're going smaller on Mason and Isaiah. And so, we've got to create, if we're going to play a smaller unit, which we are, we've got to create mismatches to our advantage. And, last night, we didn't take advantage of certain matchups. And so that's got to be something that as a staff and as a group, we've got to figure out, because when we have taken advantage of mismatches, it's worked positively for us. So yeah, that's something, going forward, Scotty, we've got to continue to figure out.
Appreciate it.
Okay, next up is Jerry Tipton of the Lexington Herald-Leader.
Yes, Eric, I was going to ask you about Reggie Perry. I know he put up big numbers. How effective was he on both ends of the court?
Well, he was really effective drawing fouls. Defensively, he was, there was not anything in particular with the defensive end. Certainly his ability to draw fouls was a difference in the game. He took more free throws attempted than our entire team. So especially for us with our size, he's a factor at the offensive end, inside the lane. In the restricted area, I thought he was effective. Like I said, drawing fouls and I thought we did a good job with our post fronts against him. It did give him, I think he made 2 post moves, but his ability to draw free throws attempted was why he had such an effective game.
And being a little smaller, how vulnerable are you guys to a big guy that to draw fouls, to have a presence around the basket?
Yeah, I thought we did a pretty good job against Georgia Tech's big, although he scored the basketball. I thought, we at least kind of held our own, against Kentucky's, what I think is an excellent front line. I thought Kentucky's guard rebounding was a big difference in our game against Kentucky. Was their 3 guards did a phenomenal job on the defensive backboards, and Quigley did such a great job on the offensive backboard. So, but certainly, when you have a lack of depth at the center spot like we do, the free throws attempted was something that really hurt last night. Again, it's not post-ups. It's our, so to speak, small forward that's playing center comes over to block a shot, and then we don't do a good job on crackdowns or our smashes. And that's up to the guard. So I think, anytime you talk about defense, it's always team. It's not one particular player.
Thanks.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.